I am struggling with all the content that I've got to create. Does this sound like you? That's what we're talking about in today's video. Hey, I'm Elise Cartwright from Hustle and Groove, and we talk about all things email marketing, productivity, and side hustle related. Today, I want to talk to you about my content creation strategy that allows me to create a month's worth of content in a couple of hours. So I'm sure that you are probably thinking, how do I even go about creating content? And how do I make sure I can repurpose that content? Because that's a key point to this strategy. So in a previous video, I've talked about how to make the most out of planning your work week. And part of this process fits into that strategy. So I'm a huge fan of time blocking and batching. So that is one of the things that I want to talk about, is batching this content creation process. So it starts with the following step. I talk about three main topics: email marketing, productivity, and side hustle related stuff. So whenever I'm sitting down at the beginning of the month to create the content for the month ahead, I think about those buckets. So it's a lot easier to create content if you're focusing on just one bucket at a time. So I will theme each month. So this month, I'm talking about all things side hustle related. Next month, I'll probably talk about productivity. And then the month after that, I'll go on to email marketing and then back to side hustle. So figure out what your topics are and what you want to talk about, because it will make coming up with content so much easier if you're just focusing on a theme. So that is step number one. Step number two is I will open up my content creation board and set out all of those topic ideas. So sometimes I would have started creating topic ideas just from emails that have come in from people, or blog posts that I've written in the past where people have commented on it. So questions are a good starting point. But the other thing that you can do is think about the posts that you already have and how you could potentially expand on those or dive deeper into them. And then once I've got those ideas, I just create a whole bunch of cards on my Trello board, and then I outline them. So I'll just open them up, and in the description area, I will just go in and put a bunch of bullet points about the things that I want to cover for that blog post. That takes about 10 minutes just to map out that content. Now, I am posting a blog twice a week. So that means that I need to come up with a minimum of 8 pieces of content. I generally come up with more so that I'm always ahead. So I generally do 10 to 12 blog posts at the beginning of the month, and I outline those. So figure out what your schedule is, and a month's worth of content might only be 4 blog posts for you. It might only be 2. So you could actually batch 3 months worth of content if you wanted to. And then the next part is batching, which is exactly what we've just talked about. So I set aside one day out of the month, and it's always at the beginning, to sit down and come up with the ideas, write out the outlines, and I'm batching all of this. So I'm doing it all in one of my focused time blocks, which is normally about 90 minutes. So I've said 2 hours, but I tend to get it done in 90 minutes. It really depends on how much content you need to create in the month ahead. So then the repurposing piece here is that my blog posts are turned into videos. So I have a YouTube channel, which you obviously know about because you're here hanging out with me. So I will actually record the video first and then get it transcribed. So I use a service called rev.com, so rev.com. I send off all of my videos and they transcribe them word for word. Then they all get sent back to me, and then I hand them over to my VA to go through and convert them into blog posts. So she needs to change some of the wording because obviously it is me talking to you right now on here, but I'm not necessarily using the same words in a blog post. So she'll go through and make those initial edits. I'll review, and then she schedules them out. And that's how I come up with a month's worth of content in less than 2 hours. It is definitely about planning this out and not leaving it to the last minute. Now, I used to do that. I used to sit down and go, what am I writing about today, when I first started my blog, and quickly found that I wasn't able to do that. It would be months before I wrote another blog post. So if blogging or putting out content is something that is part of your long-term strategy, then you need to plan it. So if you want to be able to pump out content on a consistent basis, batching this stuff and planning it out ahead of time will make your life so much easier. So your immediate action step is simply to review this video and figure out how much content you need to create in the month ahead, and then pick a day, outline, and then batch it. That's all you need to do. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would love it if you hit subscribe and the bell to get notified of the next video when it goes live. I'll see you in the next video.